Hey, what's up you guys? It's Sukari here and welcome to my channel. In this week's video, I'm showing you all how to make this super cute bucket bag. So if you would like to learn how to make your own, stay tuned. So the first step in creating any handbag is making your pattern. So for this project, I'm going to be creating a bucket bag that has a 7-inch length, a 5-inch width, and a 4-inch depth. If you would like your handbag to be the same exact size of mine, you can go ahead and follow the measurements that I'm going to list off for you. So you want your top piece right here to be a total of 9 6/8. You want your side piece right here to be a total of 7 3/8. Then you want this corner right here to be a total of 2 inches, as well as this one. This is also going to be 2 inches. And then lastly, your bottom piece, you want that to be 5 7/8. Measurements that I gave you account for the seam allowance and everything you're going to need, so you don't have to worry about adding that later. After you draw your pattern, you want to make a line that is 1/8 of an inch in from the outermost edge, and you want to make sure that you're putting that line on the side as well as on this side right here and also on the bottom. Then you want to go ahead and grab your diamond punch and make holes on that line. These are going to be the holes that we use for stitching. So next up, you're going to make the holes that we're going to need later on to lace up the bag. So I went ahead and I measured 1/4 of an inch down from our top line, and then from there I put 6 holes. My holes are about 1 inch apart, and these ones right here in the center are 2 inches apart. I used this hole punch that I purchased to make these holes, and I'll go ahead and link it down below. Next up, you're going to create your patterns for your shoulder strap. I have 2 patterns right here. My first pattern is my long pattern, and that is 32 inches long by 6/8 wide, and then I have my short pattern, which is 22 inches long by 6/8 wide. I'm going to be connecting these 2 straps using a collar pin because I want it to be adjustable, but you can use a buckle or whatever you have. The next step in this project is going to be to use your patterns to cut out your material. I just want to briefly tell you guys what kind of material you want to be looking for this project. So you want to find a leather that is pretty stiff, or a vinyl that is pretty stiff and holds its own shape, because we're not putting any fillers in this. You also want to make sure that you find a leather that looks nice on the inside, because we won't be lining this. For your second front back piece, you do not have to punch any of the holes that we're going to use for stitching, but you do have to punch the holes that we're going to use to lace up the bag later on. Alright y'all, so I cut out all the pieces necessary to make this bag. I got my front here, my back piece, and then I also have my 2 side straps. And now I'm just going to go ahead and edge paint the edges of my pieces using this edge paint right here. I like to use this edge paint just because it makes the edge look a little bit more finished. So this is how the edge of my material looks. It's green on one side and it's black on the other, and then the edge is like this little gray color, but just so that it looks a little bit more professional, I'm going to go ahead and take my black edge paint and paint the edges. Alright y'all, so I went ahead and I finished edge painting the pieces, and now we're going to start assembling the back. So grab some all-purpose cement or some rubber cement and put the glue right here. Make sure that you do not put the glue past 3/8. I went ahead and I marked it off just to make it a little bit easier for me, and you can do the same if that helps you out. After this is glued and this is nice and tacky, you're then going to take this bottom and place it right on top of the side, right on that 3/8 mark. So I went ahead and I placed some glue right here as well as right here, and now that the glue is a little bit tacky, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this side piece under the bottom and make sure that it hits right at our 3/8 mark. Push that nice and make sure that it's nice and secure. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a binder clip and put that on there to hold it. After gluing the bottom of the bag to the side, it should look a little something like this. So this is half of your bag, but before we attach it to the other half of the bag, we just wanna make sure that we close off this bottom. So using some wax thread and a glover's needle, we're just gonna go ahead and sew up the bottom portion of the bag. Just a little tip for when you're hand sewing, it is always great to have an awl on hand because as you guys know, we only use the diamond punch to put holes on one side of the leather. Therefore, you're gonna use this awl to punch the holes in the other side of the leather and use these little markings as a guide. It's also great to have a pair of pliers because sometimes the needle does get stuck in the leather. You don't wanna like ruin your fingers trying to pull the needle through. So just grab you a pliers to help you along the way. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and glue the front piece to our back piece. So you're gonna put some glue on the part of the bag that does not have any holes, so all the way around. Make sure that you're not putting it past 3/8 because that is our seam allowance. And then you're just gonna go ahead and take the piece of the bag that has the little holes in it from the diamond punch and put that on top of this. And line it right up at 3/8 and connect them. So I went ahead and I glued the front of the bag to the back, and now using a glover's needle, I'm just gonna go ahead and sew along the sides of the bag as well as the bottom. So to attach the straps to my bucket bag, I'm also going to be hand sewing it. So I went ahead and I placed a line on my pattern that is 1.5 inches up, and I also went ahead and did lines all around that are 1/8 of an inch in. So 1/8 of an inch in on the side, 1/8 of an inch in on this side, and 1/8 of an inch in on the bottom. I'm now going to go ahead with my diamond punch and punch holes in my pattern and transfer that to my leather strap. Keep in mind that the holes that we're going to punch later on for our collar pin should be on one side of the strap, and the holes that we're punching now with this diamond punch should be on the opposite end of the strap, because this is the side of the strap that's going to get sewn to the bag. Alright y'all, so I went ahead and punched some holes on one side of my strap, and now I'm just going to attach it to my bag. You have the option of attaching it on the outside or attaching it on the inside, but I'm going to attach my strap on the outside of the bag. Alright y'all, so I went ahead and I sewed the strap onto the bag, and now I'm just going to go ahead and put in my collar pins or my snaps right here so that I have an adjustable strap. At the beginning of this video I mentioned that I would be using collar pins, but I opted to use some snaps that I had, and I purchased the kit from Amazon, so I'll go ahead and link that down below. Alright you all, so here is the finished product. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys!